Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So, for this one here, I really wanted to talk about the episode titles. I know I talked about two of them yesterday, so we won't go over that. But we actually learned some of the other episode titles that it really does hint at where the overall story is going. There's obviously 3 episode titles here that aren't shown. Man, it's really starting to feel real. Like, as soon as the episode titles come out, as soon as people have watched like the first episode or 2 or sometimes 3, of the season, then it just really feels like it is around the corner, which it is. It's literally just over a month away. So anyways, before going further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. So episode 17 and 18, we talked about that the other day or yesterday, or I guess it depends on when this video is coming out, but we did talk about it. Obviously, episode 17 was titled Lockdown, which is really primarily focused on Daryl, Maggie, Negan trying to get to the Commonwealth to save their people before Lance gets there and then does something absolutely horrible. There's other things there with the Walker Horde. Mercer takes Rosita out there, and there's just some other stuff like that. I think this episode's going to do a really great job at sort of setting up the final 8 here, while I think honoring obviously the finale there, because Pamela Milton's going to be dealing with the protests and whatnot. That could also be what lockdown means. Maybe they lock down everything around Pamela Milton, right? Because it's just getting really crazy out there. Episode 18 is titled A New Deal. That's the one that's really hard to predict because that's such a generic title. It could be a new deal between Lance and Daryl and Carol and whatnot. I could see that. Maybe they're going to use Lance to get to the Milton family. That I can actually see. Other than that, though, I don't know what a new deal means. It's going to be, it's kind of hard to say. But it's the other 3 titles that has me really excited, and that is episode 19 is titled Variant, episode 20 is titled What's Been Lost, episode 21 is titled Outpost 22. So, first of all, episode 21, titled Outpost 22, this obviously is a reference to Alexandria, because Alexandria has now been renamed Outpost 22. We even saw that in the recent trailer, actually, for The Walking Dead Season 11 Part 3, where we do see Alexandria with, its new look. It says Outpost 22. This is a new processing center. So, this episode could focus a lot on getting Alexandria back. I just don't know if it's going to happen in this episode, because we have 3 more afterwards, right? So I have a feeling that this one here, maybe there's some battling that happens in Alexandria. Maybe they infiltrate Alexandria to go and save people. But that's kind of my guess for that. It's obviously going to be an Alexandria-focused episode. Episode 20, What's Been Lost, that's the hard one right there. Because obviously immediately my mind goes to Rick Grimes and Michonne, right? And, I mean, maybe. Obviously the first 3 episodes here, I mean, there's episode 19 titled Variant. We'll talk about that right away. But those first 3 don't seem to focus on anything Civic Republic related. Anything Rick related at all. Episode 20, What's Been Lost, and then sort of going forward, I could see that actually really, playing a role in the overall story there. You have to get to it at some point. If it doesn't happen in episode 20 or in 21, because Outpost 22, in the next 3 here, something's going to happen. Like, they're going to find out, and I don't think they're going to find out in the last episode. I just think that'd be too crazy for that to be the ending, right? Like Daryl finds out Rick's alive in the very last episode, and then in the end, he goes to try and find Rick. Like, I think, again, it depends on the story flow, depends on where we're at once we're after we watch episode 23. I just think that'd be a little bit too much. I think it would feel a little too rushed, I think he should find out before, even in episode 22. But episode 20, I think it could happen here. And so when we go to episode 19, this episode is titled Variant. This is obviously about the new variant Walker, right? Or I guess variant cohort, which is what everyone, or I guess Dr. Jenner did refer to these new walkers as that. This is going to be the walkers that can climb, that can kind of run. I mean, if they're the same walkers that we saw in season 1, because in season 1, those walkers could run a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but, it was just sort of, they walked faster, basically. They weren't like the walkers in France, where those zombies, I should be saying, those zombies can run, and they're very aggressive. That's going to be different. We're going to see that zombie on the Daryl show. This new variant of Walker here, which is, I'm guessing, going to be the variant that we saw in Atlanta and has now made its way to Virginia, or I guess Ohio and whatnot. They're very smart. They can open doors. They're able to climb walls. they're not going to be safe anymore. And so I believe this one here is going to be the episode that focuses on that. And I think this is going to be the Aaron, Jerry, Lydia episode. I think we're going to have all those characters here at that castle. And this is where we're going to see that. And then I believe after they deal with this, in episode 20, I think that could be where they have to warn everyone. Like, this new threat is coming. Like, it's a really, really intense threat. So I'm assuming that in episode 19, obviously there could be other storylines, but because that storyline is going to be so big, that episode literally may just focus on that entirely, right? Just focus on that new variant of Walker, see Aaron and everyone else deal with it in that castle location, which, I have a lot of questions about as well, because why are they in that location, right? Aaron's like nowhere near that. So I'm assuming beforehand in episode 18 or 17, we're going to learn more details on that, on why they go there. But yeah, that's definitely exciting. And so, looking at the overall flow here, just, trying to get something from these episode titles, 17 seems like a very sort of, I don't want to say generic episode, but I think it's pretty predictable based off the synopsis, right? 18, they're going to further the story a little bit more there. I think there's going to be some land stuff. We're going to learn more specifics, I think, with the protesting at the Commonwealth, Connie's investigation into what's happening with Tyler Davis and all of that. And I don't know if they're going to get into that immediately, but I think we're going to learn more of, like, she decides that she has to go to this location kind of thing. There could be some other stuff at the Commonwealth as well. Negan, I can see him being there at this point, running into Carol and everyone else, and then some stuff with Mercer. There's going to be some new things that they introduce here, I think, in this episode for the rest of the arc here. Episode 19 variant, obviously, I think it's going to be the zombie episode. I think it's going to focus primarily on this. 20 and then 21, that's where it's hard to say where it's going to go after that. What's Been Lost, I can see that one actually focusing a lot on Rick. And like, Rick's alive. And so Daryl and everyone finds out here. And then it's all about, like, we need to save everyone, basically. And then it's just sort of, maybe the Walker Horde plays a role here. Outpost 22, I can see that one focusing a lot on Alexandria. And again, I think there could be some mix here with this giant Walker Horde, this new variant of Walker, sort of taking over some of these places here and trying to survive all that. I just want to know the next 3 episode titles. And honestly, just like the next one, or no, I want to know all 3. I imagine we're going to have to wait like another month before we know all 3. Like, they're not, that stuff usually comes out about a month before those episodes air, I would say. And obviously, we're about a little under 3 months until the very final episode of The Walking Dead, so we're still a little bit of a ways away. But yeah, these episode titles, it's exciting. I can't wait to see What's Been Lost is referring to. It's such a hard thing, because what's been lost? What's been lost, right? Like, you've lost a lot of people. Is it going to focus on, like, what you lost about your humanity? Maybe it has a double meaning. I'm not entirely sure. But what's been lost just really reminds me of something with Rick, because what's been lost? Rick, right? Just based off of just the years of watching this show sort of thing. Like, it almost seems like that is a scenario that could actually happen. Like, we're going to learn something about that in episode 20. And then in 21, we're going to be super, first of all, in 20, we're going to be super excited because Daryl finds out, or some characters find out, or whatever. But then in 21, it's focused on Alexandria. And say in 20, characters like Eugene or Connie, right? They find out about Rick. Connie, I don't know if she really knows who Rick is, but say Eugene or Rosita Ezekiel, say like any of them are with her, right? Maybe they find out some information, and so it's like, whoa, and then we learn some more Civic Republic stuff there. I could see episode 21 maybe going back to Alexandria. We now know that some characters know about Rick, but now we're focused on Daryl and stuff in Alexandria, and we're just sort of waiting for them to meet, and so they can tell Daryl and them that information. Like, I can see that being something that we have to wait for, and they're not going to give it to us right away in 21. We'll have to wait until episode 22 or 23. Just based off of all of this, it seems like these last 8 are going to be really amazing. I don't think any one episode is going to be like a filler episode. I think they're going to be going all out here, and it's going to be something that's super exciting. I actually did see a review here, or not a review, but someone has watched the episodes, or 2 episodes early, episode 17 and 18. On Twitter, their username is @rdore, like @RDORE 2000. He's watched episodes 17 and 18 and is very confident that the franchise is going to end in a much better way than Game of Thrones did. So I'm excited. I'm honestly really excited. It seems like every single day there's some new information that's coming out here. So, yeah, you know, we're about 36 days away or something like that until the premiere. And, yeah, I'm very hyped for this. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.